We'll start. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanu Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tam Agocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham. Let we be protected, let we be nourished, let we strive with energy and vigor. Let our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. I bow to Govinda, whose nature is bliss supreme, who is the Sadguru, who can be known only from the import of all Vedanta, and who is beyond the reach of speech and mind. So we are studying Vivekachudamani, and we are in a very important section where we have finished Jivan Mukti. What is that state when a person is free while living? Now, nobody asked this question, that when the self is already free, when there is no bondage, there is no release from bondage, there is no birth, there is no suffering, then why one enters into body? Why one creates oneself? So the answer is given that there is no purpose of being born except one thing. What is that? Jivan Mukti Sukha Prapti Hetave Janma Dharanam. Only to enjoy the bliss of freedom while living. Otherwise, there is no need. See, Brahman is all free. Na nirodho na chotpatti. There is no nirodha, na utpatti. There is no that ajatavad that we have already discussed. So there is no purpose of taking birth. But still, he takes birth. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna also said that I am Aja, Avvaya, I am unborn, I am unmanifested, and it is absolute. Bhutanam Ishwara Pisan. But still I take birth. But there he said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. I take birth for the emancipation of righteous and also to destruct the demonic power, dushkrita. But other than that, also this is, for those who strive and then become free. See, every day we exercise. Why? That, and also like you see, sometimes after conquering Everest once and then people go for the second time. Because some people cannot stop them. Similarly, those Jivan Mukta, though we are free, but actually Atman also embraces this bondage and again tries to get out of it. Jivan Mukti Sukha Prapti, to enjoy the bliss of freedom while living. See, if there is no life, what is the fun of it? So, to have this fun, Jivan Mukti Sukha Prapti Hetavi Janmadharanam. So, this is a question, and it is achintyam. We cannot think of anirdeshyam, we cannot indicate, but still we have to tell how to do that. So, we say also, oh, it is so vast, so nice, so good. So, that is also an expression. So, here Acharya is doing that. So, before we proceed, let us read from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda.
In the very oldest times, we often find glimpses of light coming into men's minds. We find man, even then, going a step beyond this body, finding something which is not this external body, although very much like it, much more complete, much more perfect, and which remains even when this body is dissolved. We read in the hymns of the Rig Veda, addressed to the god of fire who is burning a dead body, "Carry him, O fire, in your arms gently. Give him a perfect body, a bright body. Carry him where the fathers live, where there is no more sorrow, where there is no more death." The same idea you will find present in every religion, and we get another idea with it. It is a significant fact that all religions, without one exception, hold that man is a degeneration of what he was, whether they clothe this in mythological words or in the clear language of philosophy, or in the beautiful expressions of poetry. This is the one fact that comes out of every scripture and of every mythology, that the man that is a degeneration of what he was. This is the kernel of truth within the story of Adam's fall in the Jewish scripture. This is again and again repeated in the scriptures of the Hindus. The dream of a period which they call the Age of Truth, when no man died unless he wished to die, when he could keep his body as long as he liked, and his mind was pure and strong. There was no evil and no misery, and the present age is a corruption of that state of perfection. Now, human language is the attempt to express the truth that is within. I am fully persuaded that a baby whose language consists of unintelligible sounds is attempting to express the highest philosophy. Only the baby has not the organs to express it, nor the means. The difference between the language of the highest philosophers and the utterances of babies is one of degree and not of kind. What you call the most correct, systematic, mathematical language of the present time, and the hazy, mystical, mythological languages of the ancients differ only in degree. All of them have a grand idea behind, which is, as it were, struggling to express itself. And often behind these ancient mythologies are nuggets of truth. And often, I'm sorry to say, behind the fine, polished phrases of the moderns is errant trash. So we need not throw a thing overboard because it is clothed in mythology, because it does not fit with the notions of Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so of modern times. If people should laugh at religion because most religions declare that men must believe in mythologies taught by such and such a prophet, they ought to laugh more at these moderns. In modern times, if man quotes a Moses or a Buddha or a Christ, he is laughed at. But let him give the name of a Huxley, a Tyndall, or a Darwin, and it is swallowed without salt. Huxley has said it, and that is enough for many. We are free from superstitions indeed. That was a religious superstition, and this a scientific superstition. Only, in and through that superstition came life-giving ideas of spirituality. In and through this modern superstition come lust and greed. That superstition was worship of God, and this superstition is worship of filthy lucre, of fame or power. That is the difference. To return to mythology, behind all these stories, we find one idea standing supreme. The man, that man is a degeneration of what he was. Coming to the present times, modern research seems to repudiate this position absolutely. Evolutionists seem to contradict entirely this assertion. According to them, man is the evolution of the mollusk, and therefore what mythology states cannot be true. There is in India, however, a mythology which is able to reconcile both these positions. The Indian mythology has a theory of cycles, that all progression is in the form of waves. Every wave is attended by a fall, and that by a rise the next moment, that by a fall in the next, and again another rise. The motion is in cycles. Certainly, it is true, even on the grounds of modern research, that man cannot simply be an evolution. Every evolution presupposes an involution. The modern scientific man will tell you that you can only get the amount of energy out of a machine which you have previously put into it. Something cannot be produced out of nothing. If a man is an evolution of the mollusk, then the perfect man, the Buddha man, the Christ man was involved in the mollusk. If it is not so, whence come these gigantic personalities? Something cannot come out of nothing. Thus, we are in the position of reconciling the scriptures with modern light. That energy, which manifests itself slowly through various stages until it becomes the perfect man, cannot come out of nothing. It existed somewhere, and if the mollusk or the protoplasm is the first point to which you can trace it, that protoplasm somehow or other must have contained the energy.
So what Swamiji said, that before evolution, there must be involution. So if involution, see, we have already studied this, na nirodha, na chotpatti. There is no cessation of mental modification, and there is, because why? There is no utpatti, there is no creation. Baddho na sadhaka, neither that Brahman is bound. Therefore, he cannot be a sadhaka, the pursuer. And na mumukshur na mukta. So therefore, he is not striving for freedom. And therefore, he will not be free. Navai mukta. So we cannot say he is free. That means it presupposes some bondage. So itesha paramarthata. So if that is the case, now how one gets involved for the first time? If there is no bondage, nothing, how one gets involved? So Vedanta says that it is because of ignorance. Wow, why it happens, how it happens, we do not know. Why? That's the easiest answer. Because we are in the domain of Maya. That question cannot be answered when you are in Maya. I give an example. When you are in dream, you cannot ask this question, why I am sleeping, why I am dreaming, because you cannot conceive even that. And when you are awake, the question does not arise. So, but here even Shastrakars have said that it is because of to get the taste of freedom. You know, like we also we invent various kinds of game. So when we are getting bored, then we try to play some game. So in Vedas also it is said, Eko ham bahusyama. I'm alone. Kuch maja nahi aa raha. I'm not feeling any joy. I mean, his joy himself. It's not that he's not feeling joy, but he wants to create himself. So Eko ham bahusyama prajaye. And then he strives, he faced difficult situation, and then ultimately he gets freedom. So this way one enjoys this. Even the struggle also is for enjoyment. Now, We will go through the qualities that is here indicated here, though it cannot be indicated, but still there are some way. Sri Ramakrishna, what Sri Ramakrishna said, when there is realization, then one says, oh, what is this? What is this? In Bengali, that means ekhi, ekhi. That means he is so impressed. Oh, what is this? So it is not that it is outside, it is within. How we know this? So Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and it is scattered in many places. One ultimately discovers God by trying to know who this I is. So what is this I? This should be our primary objective or primary duty, prime duty to discover this. If I don't know who am I, how can I enjoy even, and what to enjoy? Therefore, this is the primal question. So, one ultimately discovers God by trying to know who this I is. Is this I the flesh, the bones, the blood, or the marrow? Is it the mind or the buddhi, intellect? Analyzing thus, you realize at last that you are none of this. So this is to be analyzed. What am I really? So is this is it the mind or the intellect? Analyzing thus, you realize at last that you are none of these. This is called the process of neti neti. Neti neti means not this, not this. But you are there, you are something that we have to discover. And Sri Ramakrishna gave wonderful example. Like a gentleman is sleeping in dark room. So how we discover him? So first we touch the cot. Is it him? No. Then the bedstead. Is it him? No. Similarly, we touch everything, but ultimately when we touch him, then we don't say anything. So like a bride also, a bridegroom. So in the companion, and they are sitting, boys are sitting in one place and girls are sitting another place. Is this your bridegroom? So it indicates, is this? Yes, no. That one, no. That one, no. And when the particular boy is indicated, she says nothing. So this is the process of neti neti. So similarly, we have to discover what am I really? So neti neti, not this, not this. One can neither comprehend nor touch the Atman. It is without qualities or attributes. So same, but according to the path of devotion, God has attributes. To a devotee, Krishna is a spirit. His abode is a spirit, and everything about him is a spirit. So this is the path of devotion, that Chinmay Dham, Chinmay, that form, everything is Chinmay. So everything is Chaitanya. So anyway, we go forward. So we have completed the first one. Now we have completed up to what we could. Yeah.
No, we haven't taken 471 yet.
Okay. So we'll quickly read it so that we go forward. Yeah. No, just there is only Brahman. from 66. There is only Brahman, the one without a second, which is without all, within all, homogeneous. Within, without, everywhere it is Him. Homogeneous, infinite, endless, and all pervading. There is no duality whatsoever in it. There is only Brahman, the one without a second, which is neither to be shunned nor taken up nor accepted, and which is without any support. There is no duality whatsoever in it. There is only Brahman, the one without a second, beyond all attributes, without parts, subtle, absolute, and taintless. There is no duality whatsoever in it. Then there is only Brahman, the one without a second, whose real nature is incomprehensible and which is beyond the range of mind and speech. There is no duality whatsoever in it. So all this, it looks like negation, and it is somewhat negation also, but it is negation of negative things. We stand in that which is positive. Sri Ramakrishna says, what is Brahman cannot be uttered, cannot be verbalized. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. So it is like, say, it is said, aheyam anupadeyam. Aheyam means it cannot be neglected, and neither it is a useful thing. Why? We use something, say like we use an instrument. So it is useful, we say. But it is not like that. But it is the basis of everything. And what is the basis of everything? It is the self. See, if I am there, then only everything is useful or something is rejectable. So this is the idea. Idea is not only negation, but negation of negative things. So that is very, very important. Now we go to the next. There is only Brahman, Sat Samriddham. Sat, it is existence. Sat, existing. And Samriddham, that means it is with all resources. It is rich enough. Samriddha. And all resources are within. And then Swata Siddha, there is no need of proving this. This is already established. It does not require anybody's certificate. Swata Siddham, Shuddham, it is pure, there is no adulteration. And Shuddham, Buddham, Anidrisham, and Buddha means it is intelligent, it is awareness. And Anidrisham, not, it cannot be exemplified that it is like this. It cannot be said like that. Ekam eva advayam brahma neha nanasti kinchana. Here there are not many. We may see many, but that is only on the surface. But in reality, if you see, you yourself is pervaded in everything. It is like your dream. In your dream, you are pervaded in everything. So it is you. And what is you? You cannot indicate what you are. You cannot say what you are. When you say, you reduce yourself. So therefore, all these are not without rhyme and reason. This is the way of talking what we are not. And what we are, that also cannot be indicated. Does it mean that it does not exist? No. On that, everything is dependent. And therefore, and it cannot be measured, it cannot be determined, because whatever we determine whatever is outside. How can we determine what we are? So this is okay. Why we fail to understand? It's because one, the mind should be purified first, and that is why Shamadamadi Shat Sampatti, that is to be cultivated. Then only this dawns unto us. So Vivek, Vairagya, Shamadamadi Shat Sampatti, and Mumukshutva. When these are extreme, then only we can understand this. So that is now being said. Atmanu, what is Atmanubhava? That means to realize one's own self. So nirastha ragaha vinirastha bhoga. So nirastha raga means when all the attachment is gone. And vinirastha bhogaha, and all enjoyment is gone. Then what happens? Shantaha sudantaha yatayaha mahantaha. So Shanta, internally he is peaceful. That means he is not attracted to anything, or he is not interested to enjoy anything. That means he is detached. Does it mean that one should become a stone? No, not stone. He'll be feeling, rather his feeling will be much more than ordinary feeling, like Swami Vivekananda. He felt so much, like Sri Ramakrishna, or for that matter all, say Buddha, felt for this world, suffering human being. Christ felt for the ordinary human being. So feeling is not removed, but they also understand this is only a play. So nirastha raga, vinirastha bhoga. Oh, one can, devotees can say, oh God, you can say this is, though we are suffering, and you are saying it is all play. So it is, he also shows the way. That is why he incarnates himself. That the way you are living the life, that is not the way. Sri Ramakrishna said, I cannot tell this Calcutta people that renounce this or that. So what I say, okay, mentally you renounce. Let me read, because it's better to listen from Sri Ramakrishna. So Marwari devotees came, and then he was talking. So Marwari devotee asked, Sir, what is the way? Master, there are two ways. One is the path of discrimination, the other is that of love. Discrimination means to know the distinction between the real and unreal. God alone is the real and permanent substance. All else is illusory and impermanent. The magician alone is real. His magic is illusory. This is discrimination. Discrimination and renunciation. Discrimination means to know the distinction between the real and the unreal. Renunciation means to have dispassion for things of the world. One cannot acquire them all of a sudden. They must be practiced every day. One should renounce woman and gold, lust and gold, mentally at first. Then by the will of God, one can renounce it both mentally and outwardly. It is impossible to ask the people of Calcutta, Calcutta means worldly people, to renounce all for the sake of God. One has to tell them to renounce mentally. Through the discipline of constant practice, one is able to give up attachment to lust and gold. That is what the Gita says. By practice, one acquires uncommon power of mind. Then one does not find it difficult to subdue the sense organs and to bring anger, lust, and the like under control. Such a man behaves like a tortoise, which, once it has tucked in its limbs, never puts them out. You cannot make the tortoise put its limbs out again, though you may chop it to pieces with an axe. So, such a person, discriminating and also renouncing person, that is what is being said here. Nirastha raga, so attachment is gone. Vinirastha, and completely gone that desire for enjoyment. Therefore, he'll be Shanta, is peaceful within. Sudanta, and also outside, peaceful. Yatayaha, who is striving hard. Mahantaha, great one. Vijnaya Tattvam, knowing this truth. Param etat ante. So, knowing this supreme truth. Praptaha param nivrittir atma yogat. So, high-souled sannyasin here, but those who are striving, who have got rid of all attachment and discarded all sense enjoyments, and who are serene and perfectly restrained, realize this supreme truth, and at the end attain the supreme bliss through the self-realization. So this is the purpose why one um, should practice disciplines. It is to have that joy of Jivan Mukti. See, even in our life also we can see when there is no attachment, we are free. This mental freedom to be experienced. If we are pegged here or there, then we are buffeted by those attractions and distractions. So this is, does it mean that we should leave everything? Not really as of now. But if the time comes, one should be ready for that. Then there is no need. But till that time comes, one should perform one's duties, offering to the divine. So we go to the next. Bhavan apidam paratattvam atmanah swarupam anandghanam vicharya vidhuya moham swamanah prakalpitam muktah kritartho bhavatu prabuddha. So first I read the translation and then we'll go to Bhavan apidam. Thou too discriminate this supreme truth. The real nature of the self, which is bliss undiluted, and shaking off thy delusion, created by the own mind, be free and illumined, and attain the consummation of thy life. So here instruction is also given. Here it is a praise also, because such a disciple who is striving, for him his guru's heart opens up and swells in compassion. So blessing comes automatically to him. So here it is praise and what is to be done and encouragement, everything together. Bhavan api. So you are also that idam paratattvam. That means this paratattvam, what is that? Atmanaha, self. We cannot get rid of this self. This world disappears when we are sleeping, but we are present. We are present in our waking state. And all the sufferings that we get, it's because of our attachment. As we get rid of attachment, we are free. So this is also good, like surfing over water. So big waves are there, but one expert surfer knows how to meander in those waves, and even he can go through the tube. So that is what is here being said. So bhavan api idam atmanah idam partatvam atmanah. So you know this, and your real nature is this. What is this? Ananda ghanam. We are joy, bliss, absolute, concentrated bliss. So, and also you can consider this vicharyam, and what you have to leave swamanah kalpitam. So we are presuming that we have attachment to this world. Samanah kalpitam moham. Vidhuya moham samanah kalpitam. So vidhiyam is discarding. What? This is our presumption that I am attached, and then we are attached. If you think you are free, you are free. If you think you are bound, you are bound. So that is and Swamiji also said this. So moham vidhuya, destructing, prabuddha, that means you become that awakened Vedantim. Muktaha kritartha bhavatu, and you become Jivan Mukta. You are free already, but only you need to be established in that freedom. And why? Then only what is to be done, you have done it. Kritartham bhavatu. So thou too discriminate this supreme truth, the real nature of the self, which is bliss undiluted, and shaking off thy delusion. What kind of delusion? Created by thy own mind. Be free and illuminated. And we get rid of it. When you go to sleep, we don't hold our bondage. We discard then and there. But as soon as we come back, we try to hold it, and then we suffer. So be free and illumined, and attain the consummation of thy life. So that is our purpose of life. The purpose of life is to attain that state when there is no bondage. But this bondage is created by us, assumed by us. We think that it is there, but in reality there is no bondage. Na nirodha na chotpatti. So we go to the next. Hope everything is clear. So, yeah.
Does in reality there is no bondage mean the same as in reality there's really no world?
Yes. World, we think this is world, but knower of truth knows it is all God. Neha nanasti kinchana. Here there are not many. See, it is like ocean. You can see something, like bubbles you can see, but you know it is only water. You can see waves, You can see ripples. It's all water. You can see various ornament of gold, but you know it is all gold. But only those who do not know fully, they think, oh no, this is, this is this ornament, it is that ornament. So Nama, Rupa, Artha, Kriya, Karitva, they are bound there. Name and form and their meaning and their utilitarian values. They are tied down there. But knower of self knows everything is that Brahman. Again, this everything disappears also. So in your deep sleep, what happens? This multiplicity is obliterated. But you are not obliterated. You will remain at that state. So that happens. Sri Ramakrishna says, I cannot scold anyone. How can I scold? I see that Sri Rama in various forms. But we have a tendency of previous samskara. As soon as I see something, I like something, I dislike something. It is because of our ignorance. And the person who has gone beyond this ignorance, for him there is no heya upadeya. It has utilitarian values or it has, discardable. He does not think that way. He knows that everything is him. Even a snake, outwardly you think it is a snake, but he'll say, oh, my beloved has come in that form. Tiger, like Swamiji saw, a monk was taken by a tiger and the tiger was holding and he was uttering Soham, Soham, Soham. You may say, oh, it is foolish. But for him, God has come in that form. It's difficult to understand because we are so steeped in this world. We think such behavior pattern is a foolish behavior pattern, but it is not. So we go to the next. Samadhina sadhu vinishchalatmana pashyatma tattvam sphutabodha chakshusha nishamshayam samyak avikshitah chet shrutah padartho na punar vikalpyate. So first I read the translation and then we go. Samadhina. Through samadhi, in which the mind has been perfectly stilled, visualize the truth of the self with the eye of clear realization. If the meaning of the scriptural words heard from the Guru is perfectly and indubitably discerned, then it can lead to no more doubt. So what is that? Tat Tvam Asi. So that is why we need to contemplate those unifying Mahavakyas, great sayings. Tat Tvam Asi Araham Brahmasmi. So when one understands this, then there is no differences. So samadhina, how to do it? By samadhi. So first is samadhi. Now samadhi will not come all of a sudden. For that one need to go through spiritual disciplines. Samadhina, by the samadhi. Samadhi various kinds, but it should be nirvija or nirvikalpa samadhi. If savija, then you'll have to come back. Sadhu vinishchala atmana. Sadhu means well, good, any proper, Vinishchala, there is no wavering, no movement. Atmanam is within by the mind, by intellect. So Atmana. So Atma is used for various things. Atma is self, Atma is intellect, Atma is mind. Atma sometimes refers to body also. Atmaja. Like sun is called Atmaja. So there it is body. But here it is intellect. Sadhu Vinishchala Atmana. So that means when one is well poised in the self, how one well poised? By cultivating unifying statements of the scriptures. And by that what happens? Sphuta bodha chakshusha, because now your eyes are really open. What kind of eye? Understanding, bodha chakshusha. And what kind of understanding? Sphuta, clear. Atma tattvam pashya, to see your own self. We see only just marginally. There is one way. Impressionists say, and they don't paint exactly as it is. Just an impression. When you drive, you don't see everything intently. Somehow you see, yes, I see somebody is coming, but you don't see his face or details. So similarly, that is not clear. One should be very clear, not impressionist. So, Shruta Padartha, that means whatever you have heard from your gurus. Here it is particularly Mahavakyas, great sayings. Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, and Atmanam Brahma, etc. So anyway, so Shruta Padartha Chit Yadi Nishamshayam, that means without any doubt, bereft of doubts, Samyab Avakshita, then one can realize in reality. Then there will be no doubt. It is said, Shamshayatma Vinashyati. When you have doubt, where to go, how to go, what is the goal, all these are various kinds of doubt. Not only that, first doubt is, should we think about it? And then comes, why should I think? No need. First, it is not discussed also. And then if it is discussed, then it is half-hearted. And then so many doubts. Therefore, such a person cannot progress. So one has to have that firm faith. So, Samadhina, through Samadhi in which the mind has been perfectly stilled, visualize the truth of the self with the eye of clear realization. So clear realization will come when heart is clear, heart is purified. And for that, one has to go through Vivek, Vairagya, etc. If the meaning of the scriptures, words heard from the Guru, is perfectly and indubitably discerned, understood, then it can lead to no more doubt. So then one realizes. So this is what one should do, that is what is being said. Yeah, we go to the next. Swasya avidya bandha sambandh mokshat satya jnanananda rupatma labdho Shastram yuktir deshikoktihi pramanam chandah siddha swanubhutihi pramanam. So there are three legs. One is Shruti. Whatever is given in the Shruti. Shruti means Veda. What Veda says, especially Mahavakyas. So Shruti Yukti. Yukti means logical understanding. And Anubhuti. Anubhuti means one's own realization. So we go to the meaning first and then we'll. In the realization of the Atman, the existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, through the breaking of one's connection with the bondage of avidya or ignorance, the scriptures, reasoning, and the words of the Guru are the proofs. While one's own experience earned by concentrating the mind is another proof. Now, what's the proof that we'll get it? So, Shruti says this. Therefore, we are to believe in Shruti. Say, we don't know many things. We don't know chemistry, we don't know physics. So, what we do? We refer to a book. And again, if book is not sufficient, then we ask a teacher who knows about it. So, Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharanam. When Shastra says something, scripture says something. Why? Because Shastram tu Antam Pramanam. Shastra, what is written? See, like one may argue, 2-3 parties may argue, but ultimately they refer to some book, some scripture. So that is why Shastra is so important. Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharanam Sahasraddha Katitha Sadbhir Yaya Vastu Palabhyate. Because one must have that faith. Now, this faith is not blind faith. One can ask questions. Why should I refer to that book, which is called Veda, or say Bible truth, we say, that it cannot be falsified. So, Veda, there are so many statements. We are not talking about that. We are talking about Upanishad, and especially what Upanishad has indicated. So, one has to have that faith, and also on Gurus. Swasya avidya bandha sambandha mokshat. So now this is a bit very, we should not say flowery, but ornamental. Ornamental. Avidya sambandha bandha mokshat. Avidya, we are attached with avidya, ignorance. And when that is taken away, and Gita also says that when attachment, one is detached from attachment. So that is Gita says in 6th chapter. So swasya avidya sambandha bandha mokshat. Then what happens? Satya jnana ananda rupa atma upalabdhu. Then one realizes oneself. Simple thing is, when one is detached from all the ignorance, then only one realizes one's own real self. Shastram yuktihi deshikokti. And Shastra, yukti, Shastra means scriptures, yukti means reasoning, and deshikokti means the Guru, whatever Guru says. So that is pramana. Chanta siddha swanubhuti pramana. And ultimately it is atma anubhuti, swasambedya. It's not that somebody will tell what you are. You have to realize what you are. So that is very important. So in the realization of Atman, the existence, knowledge, bliss absolute, through the breaking of one's connection with the bondage of avidya or ignorance, the scriptures, reasoning, and the words of the Guru are the proofs, while one's own experience earned by concentrating the mind of is another proof. Yeah. So uha-poha, what is reasoning? Some doubts will come, and it's bound to come. So one should have to contemplate what is the truth. We can take the help of gurus to find out, to remove all the doubts. When doubts are removed, then one realizes one's real self. So until unless that realization comes, that knowledge is not firm. It can vacillate it again because of fresh doubts. So I think it is time, just a quick reading. Thou too discriminate this supreme truth, the real nature of the self, which is bliss undiluted, and shaking off thy delusion created by the own mind. Be free and illumined, and attain the consummation of thy life. So this ignorance is imposed by us, and we are to remove this ignorance. Ignorance of our real self. We feel that we are something else. That is the problem. And when it started, nobody knows. Anadya vidya, anadi avidya. This is without any beginning, because time also is created in this avidya. Through samadhi, in which the mind has been perfectly stilled, visualize the truth of the self with the eye of clear realization, clear understanding. So that one has to create. Create means one has to remove all dross, all um, impurities. If the meaning of the scriptural words heard from the Guru is perfectly and indubitably discerned, then it can lead to no more doubt. So this is what a disciple should do. In the realization of Atman, the existence, knowledge, bliss absolute, through the breaking of one's connection with the bondage of avidya or ignorance, the scriptures, reasoning, and the words of the Guru are the proofs, while one's own experience earned by concentrating the mind is another proof. So let us pray to the divine so that we also experience our real self, discarding our created ignorance and deluding ourselves because of that ignorance, and suffering all kinds of um, difficulties. Hope there is no question. Because Akshay is
And
there.
that,
Yes, do you have?
yes,
Okay, please go ahead.
like how to not get entangled in the worldly duties, because while doing the worldly duties, one gets involved in selfish desires and forgets God.
Okay. Are you angry with your mother or father?
No.
So See, it is seeing that unity. Now, it will not come all of a sudden. When you will have that same sightedness, that though I see many, but actually it is me. Say in your dream, all are your created. Similarly, this world is created or reflected by you. When that understanding comes, you will not be angry. But till that time, okay, no problem. Be angry. But don't be hypocrite. Before we realize this, if one pretends and he does not get angry, that is not good. Rather, it is better to be angry, but not to pretend. Am I clear? Sri Ramakrishna, somebody says, everybody thought that Sri Ramakrishna should not be angry or this, that. And he said, no, other day I was very angry with the coachman and he scolded. See, whatever is to be done is to be done. You once same-sightedness, that understanding should be there. Even our gurus scold severely. And that is guru's work. Antar hath sahar de, bahar bahe chot. Guru kumhar shishya kumbh hai. Gargar kaadhe khot. Antar hath sahar de, bahar bahe chot. That when they make picture, what do they do? Inside they put their soft hand. And outside they put, hard hand. Antar hath sahar de, bahar bahe chot. So even the realized soul also become angry. But angry, it is only like jaler dag. Sri Ramakrishna says, Sadhur rag, jaler dag. Now sadhus will become angry. It's like a line on a water. So, number one, you should not pretend. When there is occasion to be angry, you must be angry. I am telling something, you may say, why Swamiji, you are saying something wrong. No, this is the way. Sri Krishna told Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya. You have come to fight. And you are saying, no, I should not fight, I should not kill. It's my own near and dear people. No. Swadharme nidhanam sreya paradharma bhayava. So whatever is your karma, whatever is your duty, you must do that. On the way, if somebody does something wrong, you have to be angry. If you don't be angry, then you are deviating from your duty. Of course, you should not be, Sri Ramakrishna said very nicely. He said, he gave a story. He told a story of a snake. So a snake was very venomous, and then a monk came and gave a mantra, and after that it became very pious, and he would not bite anyone, and he would lie down all the time. Then children saw, it is not biting, then they whirled it and threw it away. And then the Guru came, I'm cutting the story short, and said, you are a fool. I told you not to bite, but I never told you to hiss. So you must hiss if required. You understood?
Yes.
Yes.
If required, you have to hiss, but not to bite. You see, otherwise people will get a ride on you. So, some miscreants also will be there. The present India or suffering of India is because of that. We thought we are sattvic people and we should not harm anyone. Let them come. and do all kinds of mischiefs. And we should not do anything. That's why India suffered so much, even slavery. If somebody comes who is your enemy, you teach a lesson. So there you can even harm him. If that is the atatai, atvaitana atataina. So Bhagavan says that even such miscreant can be killed. But for you, you are not that. You are not a military man. You are not a policeman. You are a student. So you have to restrain yourself. But when required, you can be angry also. But not to be caught up there. That is the, that's also kind of attachment. We should not be attached. So we say our prayer. Yeah. See?
Is it correct thinking to say, he who beat me is now feeding me milk?
So that's different. Yeah. That sense of unity. Okay, we say our prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tassat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you very much.
Shalom, Swamiji.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Namaste, Swami.
And
Namaste.
Oh, Shubha.